Good morning, Internet. Had some trouble today with the live stream computer, so, fun stuff going on. If it's your first time joining us, my name is Matt, and I'm a local pastor here at Fremont.Church, and I just wanted to hop online and have some open-ended conversation about faith and the church and whatever's going on in the world right now. So the last several streams we've been looking at TikTok. I want to change things up a little bit. Before that, we talked politics and rapture and a little bit of LGBTQ conversation. And so I kind of just want to see what's going on right now. what sort of stuff should we be talking about? What should we be aware of? And kind of just hang out a little bit. Things are kind of crazy right now. Usually in my streams you can see behind me a bunch of camera equipment. We have a big recording coming up this weekend, and so probably going to keep it short today because I have a lot to get done for that. But let's go ahead and take a look at some Google News and see what is going on there. Let's see what's going to be the best, because I switched up my settings for this. Will this? Nope. And that's not again, more computer trouble. So that's great. Let's go ahead and fix this. Let's see. Let's open up. Where are you, Google Chrome? Hey, there we go. All right. Oh, man. Computer trouble is fun. It's great. So let's see. We have today Nigeria resisting Christian mass murder claims. I don't know much about what's going on in Nigeria. Just I've heard very conflicting things, which makes it very hard to form an opinion. Let's see. Zion Church, China's arrest of 30 Christians. Vance says he hopes his wife embraces Christianity. Interesting. Nicolas Cage is starring in this biblical horror. I won't be watching it. Now that is interesting. That is something that we haven't seen before. What is going on with Nicolas Cage? Okay. The Carpenter's Son on the Gospel of Thomas, which is from the Apocrypha. That's additional books that aren't in the Christian Bible that make it into kind of a more Catholic sort of rotation, and can potentially have some insight into some cultural things and some things going on, but it was decided when the Bible canon was being assembled that it was maybe too difficult to verify authorship or continuity isn't the right word, but essentially legitimacy that this was written by, let's say, Thomas, for instance. And so the Apocrypha is like additional things that maybe add some wisdom, but we're not 100% sure about. And so that's tough. So the Gospel of Thomas, the Carpenter's Son. Okay, we have a trailer. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer for the Carpenter's Son.
What awaits us when we turn at last to death?
Okay, that is not playing through my headphones. Wow, the the fun tech issues just keep coming. Let's go ahead and fix that as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Are you going to show me my headphones on here? Sorry folks, this is real riveting content. Is this?
Let my faith endure.
That's not right.
Faith,
What is happening?
my only strength to bear against the devil itself.
It's playing on OBS. What is going on? This is wild.
For years we live in hiding,
Okay. I hope you're enjoying this.
driven from every home. He bears a power he cannot understand, a power I cannot contain.
What? I am
Is he my father?
so confused.
Put that in your
right now.
mind. I can free you.
Who are you?
This is
You know who
the
I am.
worst stream I've ever done.
Is he
Wow.
from your angels
What is
or from demons?
happening?
You were always afraid. Greatly afraid.
My faith has been
Some help?
I'm the accuser of life. I am the adversary. And why am I here?
To torment me.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and... Oh, is it plugged in far back? That's so frustrating. Well, that was me talking over the trailer for The Carpenter's Son, trying to figure out audio issues. This is just fantastic, riveting content. This is so terrible. I don't know what to do. This is wild. Yeah. Let's go ahead and here's some Christian lo-fi. I'm gonna be right. All right, so that was our. Oh, and now I clicked on the wrong one. That was our third major tech issue of this stream. So things are going real well, but I managed to get my audio back. So let's go ahead and go back to this so that I can actually see what's going on.
What awaits us when we turn at last to death? Let my faith endure. Faith. My only strength to bear against the devil itself. For years we live in hiding, driven from every home. He bears a power he cannot understand, a power I cannot contain.
Is he my father?
You put that in your mind. Do you want to know a secret? I know one that can free you.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Is he from your angels or from demons?
You were always afraid, greatly afraid. My faith has been shattered!
I'm the accuser of life. I am the adversary. And why am I here?
To torment me.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that was excessively creepy. I don't even know where to start with that. Nicolas Cage really just be taking any role that he can. This is wild. I can see why I can see why people aren't liking this. The tone just feels weird. Does it feel weird to anyone else? Okay, let's see. Biblical horror. Interesting. What? Faith 23 seems dark and intense. Yeah. This is wild. I'm personally not a fan of like horror movies. I don't know if you are. I don't fault anyone for liking horror movies. I see the appeal. It's just not for me. My problem isn't that with this. I think it's taking something that is like biblically connected and turning it into horror is it just doesn't sit right with me. I think that's what it is. When Hollywood makes a horror film based on a gospel, which has never been considered authentic by any part of the church, it seems clear we're being trolled. Yeah, this is definitely like Nicolas Cage out there. This is wild. Yeah, I disapprove of the film he's making, but I will defend his right to make it. That's fair. I don't know if this is gonna do well. What's very popular in Christian spheres right now is the angel production movies, which is a very different vibe. They might get some horror genre folks to jump on board with this, but man, let's I believe it's Angel Studios. Oh, they have a whole streaming platform. I didn't know that. Let's go ahead and just, take a glance at their Wikipedia page, because this is interesting. Okay. They're based in Utah, and I want to see if we can call out some of their big films. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, Angel Studios is who did The Chosen, which has a whole other vibe. Yeah, definitely. I'm also, this is probably a Christian hot take, I'm not a huge fan of The Chosen. I think it does a really good job of getting people in the setting of the Bible. And I think it has its place. What I'm not a fan of is how The Chosen has been elevated to be on par in some spheres with Scripture. And that's not okay, because they take liberties. Like, it's still Hollywood. Even if it is the most biblically accurate TV show, it's still a production. They're still trying to make money. And so they add things, they take liberties, and so you have to be careful, because not everything that happens in The Chosen happens in the Bible. And so that's my only concern with it. Let's see. His Only Son, Sound of Freedom, After Death, The Shift. None of these are sounding super familiar. Am I on the wrong page? Maybe? Let's find out. It's the one from Angel Studios, The Chosen. Oh. There was a falling out between Angel Studios and The Chosen. Okay, Google AI, give me a summary. All right, they breached their contract. 5 and 2 Studios now oversees the production of their series. Wow. Interesting. What is the dispute between Angel Studios and The Chosen? Multiple okay, that doesn't give me any information. Okay, is Angel Studio a Mormon company? Yes, it is. Hey, look at that. Is it blasphemous to watch The Chosen? Google is asking some fire questions. It is not inherently blasphemous if viewed as a creative interpretation of the Bible. Yeah, totally fair. I think we jumped to blasphemy a lot. Let's see. Is Chick-fil-A owned by Mormons or Christians? Good question. Not affiliated with the Mormon.Church. The founder was a Southern Baptist. All right. Why are people saying not to watch The Chosen? Oh, see, this is what I'm saying, is that people may come to believe that the chosen version of Jesus is Jesus rather than the one portrayed in the Bible. I don't know. That's tough. It's a tough line to draw. It doesn't even have to be a hard line, honestly. Like, it's Hollywood. It's for entertainment. So as long as we view it through that lens, I don't really care that much. Angel Studios, let's see. Top films. They're doing King of Kings, the one with Oscar Isaac. This one is, I think it came out. That one's kind of wild. That's another take on Jesus. Let's see. I can only imagine. That's what? Okay. I was like, why is that being covered up? I remember when that one came out. Let's see. I don't think I've actually seen any of these because there's just something about Christian movies that don't sit right with me. Like, they do this whole big push and like, go invite your friends. And I remember watching God's Not Dead as a kid, and at the end of the movie they're like, text 3 people that God's not dead. And it's like, well, great, okay, you've inspired a bunch of people to what? Like, you send out the text messages, and like, what was the point? Like, what are people supposed to do with that now? It kind of just feels like this inspirational thing, and people spend a lot of money to feel inspired, and then they kind of just go on with their life, or they take it way too far, and they, like The Chosen, they elevated to biblical status. I had to do a paper on Christian media as a part of seminary, and how people elevate it to be on par with Scripture. And does Christian media have its place? I would argue yes, it has a place. But I think we need to make sure that it's kept in its context as fiction, or at best, biblical fiction, right? Like, they're trying to make money just like anyone else. Let's see. Who makes gods not dead? Let's see. Michael Scott. Probably not the same Michael Scott from The Office. What? Okay. Studio. Pureflix. That's what. Okay. There's Angel Studios and there's Pureflix. Oh, did they change their name? Pinnacle Peak Pictures. PPP. Formerly Pureflix. So Angel Studios is putting out their pseudo-Christian stuff. Okay, now we're hitting some of, like, we see God's Not Dead, The Case for Christ, some of these that have had like big box office pushes, like buy a bunch of tickets, invite your friends. Let's see. Okay, wow. There's a lot of God's Not Dead. God's Not Dead in 2014, and then God's Not Dead 2, and then they came out with a third, God's Not Dead: A Light in the Darkness, followed by God's Not Dead: We the People. What? Interesting. Okay. There's like a whole God's Not Dead universe going on here that I didn't know about. I knew that there was multiple, but let's see. God's Not Dead 2 is a sequel. Wow, that looks... What's the... Okay, it got more intense. and looks definitely more political. And then God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness. That's a little bit wild. And then God's Not Dead, We the People. That definitely sounds political. Yeah, I mean, that's the Washington Monument and the Capitol building. That's the most recent one, I believe. Defending religious homeschooling before Congress. Oh, there's a sequel titled God's Not Dead, In God We Trust, released last year. They're still doing these. Oh, it was titled God's Not Dead, Rise Up. That could have been bad. That probably would have been bad. God's Not Dead, In God We Trust is still a little spicy, but definitely not as spicy as Rise Up. Is God dead in American politics? I think God cares a lot less about American politics than we think he does. Wow, okay. And the Newsboys will return in their respective roles. Scheduled to release in 2023. Released in 2024. So there's 5 God's Not Dead movies. Wow. This is crazy. There's a whole God's Not Dead universe. See, look at all this money there. Oh, wait. That dropped out. Okay, so God's Not Dead. North America. Wait. Okay, box office gross. Okay, worldwide total gross income. Let's go off of that. Almost $1 billion. Oh, no, sorry. My math is off on my I'm off by a decimal point. Almost $100 million. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, doesn't sound like a whole lot for a movie, but it is an independent film. Technically, it's not from one of the major studios. And so 97 million. But then they dropped down to 32 million. Like, that's a significant hit between God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. They dropped by a third. And then they dropped by a third again. They dropped down just to $10 million. Still, $10 million is a lot of money for, the average person. For a movie, that's kind of bad. That's, like, not very good. For number 3. And then it gets slashed again, this time a fifth. Not even a third, but a fifth for the next movie. How are they still making money off of this? If they only brought in $2 million for worldwide total gross income. Oh, well, I get gross. Yeah, no, it's gross. So, and then they got a little uptick on the next one, but still a third of like the 10 million. That's wild. Okay. God's Not Dead got 12%. That's brutal. God's Not Dead 2 got 10. God's Not Dead, Light in the Darkness got 10. Not a lot of reviews though, but like the Metacritic score is just as bad. Maybe a little bit better, but like 16 out of 100, 22 out of 100, 33 out of 100. But okay, this is Yeah. They're here to make money. That's what they do. That's what they do. Is God dead in American politics? Oh. Let's look at this article. Do not sell or share my personal information, please. Fine. Just let me read the article. Go away. God's not dead. Rise up. Probably good that they changed that. Unprecedented political, civil, and spiritual unrest. Is God dead in American politics? I don't know. Yeah, it grossed 100 million worldwide. Now they're grossing 3 million worldwide. That's not great. That's not good. Okay, let's go back. We went on a God's not dead rant. But I want to know more about Pinnacle Peak Pictures. Okay. Here's what they've been up to since 2004. Anything that catches my eye. There's God's Not Dead. God's Not Dead 2. Hillsong, Let Hope Rise. A lot of controversy around Hillsong. So I think they got their movie out before all of that hit. That was wild. We have The Case for Christ. I believe there was a big push for that one. It sounds familiar. Another God's Not Dead. And in 2025, they have The Last Supper. Let's take a look at this movie. Oh, this is season 5. Wait. 3-part feature-length theatrical release of season 5 of The Chosen. So, The Chosen movie? Is that what we're doing now? Is that what's happening? It is out. It came out apparently. I missed that. March 14th of this year. Not much to say about it. Let's look at The Last Supper on IMDb. Might as well. We got Chris Tomlin, apparently, executive producer. Didn't see that coming. So does that mean The Chosen is done now? Did they end with a movie? I'm out of the loop on my The Chosen news. Jesus gathered his disciples for the Last Supper. And obviously we see him on the cross there, so like are they done now? Is that it? Five stars out of 10. Not great. Not awesome. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. let's okay. Last thing I want to do is I want to look at God's Not Dead. In God We Trust. That's the new one. 3.4 out of 10. Yeah. Oh, Burning America. What is happening? Okay, maybe we should watch this trailer, and then we'll close with that.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation going under.
Now more than ever, Christians must realize that we are being called to deliver hope to a country that's feeling hopeless. Faith begins where your comfort zone ends. We need to step out into that faith.
We're 6 weeks out from Election Day, and a lot of folks have lost hope in the future of our country.
We must maintain a wall of separation between church and state. Religion has no place in the public square.
Once they bankrupt our country, they will have complete control.
Where did we go wrong, Lord?
We need someone who can light a fire in the voters.
The preacher. He helped on those education hearings.
I've been hired to manage your campaign for Congress.
I'm not a politician.
If you don't take on this fight, we could lose everything.
They found someone to run against you.
Are we worried about a preacher?
My next guest is a candidate for Congress. You're going to get a lot of questions about your faith.
Well, maybe people are looking for more spiritual and moral leadership in Washington.
You're making God an easy target for them, Pastor.
God's not the target, Lottie. Our country is. God's just standing in their way.
I will not be made a fool of. I won't stop until your moral high ground crumbles beneath your feet.
You don't win unless you play by their rules.
I feel like I have two options. I can either do the things my faith asks me not to, or I lose this race.
It's like God keeps putting these impossible mountains in front of me. Perhaps God put those mountains in front of you to show that they can be moved.
Let's pray for David, guys.
In God we trust.
This contest is about
Random cameo by the Newsboys. Okay, I think I've seen enough of this. I can see why it's rated 3.4 out of 10. Getting the right people in government is not the best way to spread the gospel. Also, even though we say in God we trust as an American kind of like term, like the founding fathers really weren't super Christian. And that's a whole history lesson to go into. But he says, I feel like I have to play by their rules or lose. But he's playing by their rules by saying that he has to do this congressional campaign to bring people to Jesus. Like he's already sharing God's word. Like, and you can go out and have a public impact without going through the channels of government, which, like, let's be honest, aren't always the most effective, no matter what side you like are on or against or whatever. Like, I am now remembering this because it came out in a big push before the 2024 election, which didn't sit right with me. It's the merging of faith and politics does a disservice to Jesus, and I don't condone that. And it's unfortunate because I think obviously the numbers don't lie, right? The ratings have gone down, the box office numbers have gone down, the worldwide like gross income has gone down. It's not working. So I have a ton to get done, and I'm not feeling super well. I'm just going to be honest. And so I'm going to end our stream there for today. Like I said, it's going to be a shorter one. But please join the Discord server. Let's chat online. I'm going to be trying out a new streaming time pretty soon, and so we'll see how that goes. But feel free to subscribe, follow along on whatever platform you're on, and check out the link tree in the description. So